I've always been confident with my shit though. Like I guess that's why like people call it arrogant, but like you have to be confident. Like I can't sit here and be like take people's shit and they're like this shit's not gonna work. It's just a hobby. I can't be like, oh, you're right, bro. Like you kind of gotta show them how it's done. Now they look at me like you did it. I got in the game just straight, like, just busting finesses, bro. I don't even know, like, I don't even want to get into it because some people might get mad, but yeah, I was out here just, you know, trying to get my foot in. I was on some crazy shit and I would just be like finessing the interns like out of my songs. So like if I was send a beat, I would be like, yo, bro, I think so-and-so might record on this beat. Let me just touch it up a little bit. And they would send me the song and I would like fuck around and leak that shit like next day, like premiere it with the artwork and everything. And like, yeah, like that's just like one of the 100 ways Daniel will finesses like type shit. Artists be trying to wait like 50 million years to drop one song. So I was just like, shit, like I'm not about to wait on nothing. So I would just try to find it the way that I could get the song, get the session, mix it, get the artwork, boom. And then the artist can't get mad. Shit, if the song gets a million plays and it's on the radio, they're gonna hit you with a dap. And then we move forward. I don't know how y'all found that out, but I used to work at Coldstone Ice Cream. Like, they had me like doing the jingle every time they gave a tip. Like, bro, I was so mad. Welcome to color. Like, I forgot how that shit went. Like, they would put a thing in, and like my boss, he was Indian, and he was just like he was so strict about his money. So like, he cared about his customers so much. So he would be like, do this song, like do it. And I would look at him like, bro, really? And then he'd be like, do it. Like, they gave you $20. I'd be like, thank you guys for tipping like some crazy shit for like 10 minutes, like singing for like 10 minutes. I was so sick and I was like, fuck this shit. Never coming back. I wasn't even on yet. I was working at Coldstone and then the same boss, he owned a gas station. I was like picking up cricket shit. And keep in mind, this gas station is in Hiram, Georgia. So like Hiram in Georgia is like super country. Like, oh, and before I worked at Coldstone, I was working at Wendy's. So like everyone in the town kind of knew me as just like that kid that was just like working everywhere. It's a small town, like it's not like fucking huge like downtown or whatever. So on top of all of that, I was making beats. Like I would come home, like knock out like 5, 6 beats. And then like the moment that made me want to quit was when I got like my internship at Hot 107.9 in Atlanta with the Dirty Boys. And yeah, I just did it, and I don't regret it. It was like the best decision ever. You know, like Big Sean said, working like a Mexican. Like I really was working my ass off. It was like that for like a whole year. My family just didn't fuck with the vision. And I was like, bro, watch, just watch. I just feel like I'm the type of person that like, regardless of who's president, regardless of what's going on, I'm gonna run this shit up. So it's like, I don't really care. Like he could damn near say all Mexicans have to be millionaires by the next week. And I'm like, deal. And I'll go and be a millionaire. Like if they give me a limit and I'll do the impossible. So I can't stunt that shit. I feel like my whole life it's always been like that. Like they've always said, you're an immigrant, you can't get your license. I'm like, bruh, my license is right here. Like you can't do this shit, you can't do that. You can't be on the radio when you're 18. I'm on the radio when I'm 18. Oh, Trump said this. And it's like, all right, well, look at this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's always been like that. As an immigrant, you're always used to people like coming against you. But my family's so Mexican, like my mom barely speaks English and like my brothers have like super thick accents. So we're like, I'm pale as fuck, but I'm really like from Mexico City. Like I'm like my first language was Spanish. So like over there, it's kind of like damn near like embarrassing to chase your dreams, like in our culture, like the Mexican culture. So like, even if I had all the evidence in the world, like if they didn't see me like loaded up with a Maserati, like they're just like, it's whatever. But then they started seeing the shows, they started seeing like people recognize me like outside. And then in Atlanta, it's so hip hop based. So like to them, they would be like, you know, we go to the mall or whatever and people would be playing my music in the cars like next to us on the highway. Like, I'm like, bruh. At that point, I didn't even have to say shit. I was just like, if y'all don't get it, y'all just hating at that point. The wolf, it's like my spirit animal. My spirit guide, face ass. Like, we just got hella shit. This is a Bible verse, Zechariah 4:6. It basically just says like, in the newer translation, it's not in my might or in my strength, but in God's spirit that I will achieve everything. So I feel like it's not even me when I make my beats. I pray before I make my beats. I really like accept my destiny with God. And then like ever since then, like my career just like, like the first time that I knew I went crazy, probably like Water with UglyGod. UglyGod was like in his dorm and shit. And he like sent me the song and he was like, bro, you gotta add to this shit. And I was like, bro, this shit fire. Like I remember I heard it was like strap on like a dyke, like all this crazy shit, like boozy fade like a dyke. And at the time, like no one was rapping like that. And then we just dropped it the next day. And then like, it just got like millions of plays out the ass. And I was like, bruh, like I was just texting my friends like, bruh, this shit's going crazy. And then like a year later, it went like double platinum or some shit. He just had like 4 songs. And I was like, bro, you gotta drop some shit. Like you gotta keep dropping this shit. They gonna eat this shit up. And then we were just talking every day. Like every day he would call me, we would just talk like homies. And like he would tell me like, bro, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. I'm like, hell yeah, do that shit, bro. Like you about to be big. And then shit, that's just how we linked up. It was just like through the internet, like through FaceTime and shit. And then we did his first show at like South by Southwest. Like I booked his first show with my manager. And he didn't know how to perform, but he performed Water that day. And like all the kids were lit. Like it was his first show ever. And like the first time I met him and I was like, bro, you gotta get on stage. And like Lil Durk came, like all these people came through the stage and then they were like, this new kid, UglyGod's about to get on the stage. And he performed it and like all the kids were going crazy. And then ever since then, it was just a rap, going platinum. Just that type of song, those types of songs just kind of change your life. With Pump, shit, we were just working, we were just sending beats. It was just like my boys. Like it wasn't even like, in my mind, I wasn't even thinking about money or anything. Like I just really like how we were just making some fire, ignorant shit. And then shit, like they said, like it changes your life. We got so much shit coming. Harvard dropout with Pump. Pablo Juan, that's like my brother, first person to rap on my shit, so he gets all my bangers too. Everybody, we just dropped the Rich the Kid shit, Lil Zane, my brother, he's Mexican too, like we're both on the same boat, pale Mexicans running shit, like gotta look out for them. Like it's just my Latino home, there's slick Latinos, like Smoke Purpose Latino, like Lil Pump, all of them, Icy Narco, all my boys, like, you know, we just dropping shit, bro.